Hey guys, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. Today I will be reviewing the Glycine Combat Sub 42 model GL0094. Glycine is steeped with history, from their Airman line to their combat subline that we have here today. And this is the first time I actually have the opportunity to review Glycine watch on the channel. I'd like to thank Kevin over at Wrong Time Watch for lending this in, and I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Please check out his channel when you can. Kevin is pumping out videos and reviews, and he's doing a really great job. But before I continue with this review, please remember to like and subscribe and click that bell icon to get notifications every time I upload new videos. I love making these videos, and I hope you like them too. And please also follow me on Instagram. Now let's get on with the review. Let's jump into the specs, shall we? We have a 42 millimeter case diameter, a 50 millimeter or just a hair over 50 millimeter lug to lug, and these lugs do point down to hug the wrist. 10.6 millimeter case thickness and a lug width of 22 millimeters. This this watch is powered by the GL224 movement, which from my research I found a couple of sources saying that is actually based on the ETA 2824. It's got 38 hours of power reserve, 28,800 beats per hour, and they are claiming that the finish is elaborated. We do have 200 meters water resistance on this. We do have a screw down crown, and as you can see here, the Glycine symbol is there. So let's unscrew it. The first position, there's a nice little pop there. First position is a winding position. Second position will change the date. And that final position will hack. Oh, almost got it on the 60-second mark there. Will hack, and you can obviously change the time. Let's screw back down there to get that water resistance. You do have these nice little crown guards here, and the dial is actually a pretty decent size here. The knurl on the dial is pretty good. You can get a good grip on that as well. So let's talk about the bezel. The bezel is a stainless steel unidirectional turning bezel with aluminum ring, which is in this blue color you can see here with the light. Superluminova light green on the little pip at the 12 o'clock. Action is pretty good. It is a 60 click bezel, and you do have this coin edge on the side of the bezel here, so you do get that good grip. You do have, as you can see here, this flat sapphire crystal that has 3 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside. Now let's zoom into that dial, and we do have a black matte dial here with painted indices with Superluminova. The hands are silver polished with green Superluminova. And as you can see here, we have the 24-hour numbers inside the hour indices, the pips there. Glycine adorning just underneath the 12 o'clock with the Glycine logo. Combat automatic sub 20 ATMs, atmospheres, or 200 meters just above the 6 and the 18 there. 3 o'clock window for the date, and it is framed with that little white frame there as well. And you do have this track here for the minutes, and as you see, on every 10 minutes or 10 seconds you have the number. So you have 10 here, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's zoom back out. This watch does come with this fabric strap, which is of blue color, and it starts off at 22 and it tapers down to 20, and you have this buckle here with the Glycine engraved. Case is 316 stainless steel, and it is polished on the sides, brushed on top, it looks like. And then the case back is a screw down case back with glycine, and it looks like there's a couple of seals there with a combat written in there. And then you have all the writing around that etched in there in the back of the case back. So let's talk about a few things that I do like about this watch. Now, if you go on to Glycine's website, you'll see this watch listed for about 1,045, I believe, in Swiss francs, which is over $1,100 US. Fortunately, you can find these watches at huge discounts online. So for example, at Yoma Shop, they have this watch for 319 bucks. Now for 319 bucks, I think you get a good amount of watch for this. You do get an ETA 2824. Granted, it's not the most elaborate of them all, even though they call it the finish elaborate. It's not like the higher end 2824, but it is a workhorse Swiss movement. There's plenty other watches that have that same movement at a higher price point. What I also like about the watch is the wearability. Now I put this on wrist, and I'll show you guys a wrist shot. But this watch is extremely comfortable on wrist. And I was wearing it for a few days, and I was really impressed how comfortable it is, for this watch. And for, even I know it's only 200 meters, which is actually more than we all need, but most of us need. But it does have a really slim profile, which increases its wearability. Another great thing about this watch that I like. I do like the easy grip on the knurl on the crown. Makes setting the watch, winding the watch, changing the date very, very easy. The bezel action is very, very good. I'm a big fan of the 60 click bezels these days, yeah, and that's due in part because I have a couple of Black Bay 58s that have the 60 click, so it's kind of refreshing to have a watch or wear a watch or fiddle with a bezel that is not 120 click. So proportions are great, price is great, movement for the price is really, really good. Yeah, so these are some of the things that I like about the watch. Now let's talk about some things I don't like about the watch. It's not like Glycine is going to take this information and improve it. I'm sure they'd sell the Combat Subs, sell very, very well for them. But one thing that kind of struck me curious was that this watch feels like it's kind of in between a diver watch and a field watch. And why I say that is because you have these inner hour markers, these inner numbers here, the 24-hour time, and I've seen these a lot in field watches. Now, not a big deal actually, really, but I feel like that takes up space, and the real issue is the hour markers, the loom, the pips here that we have for the hours. They're very, very small. So if you're going to sell me a dive watch, and granted, I'm probably never going to dive with this watch, but some people may. Some people may swim or do some diving. The loom doesn't really hold that great in the hour marker. So, kind of a little disappointed with that. Also, let's get back to the price. On their website, like I had mentioned before, Glycine has it for over 1,000 Swiss francs, over 1,100 US. I hope there's no people and there's nobody out there that's actually going and buying this off the site, because that's kind of like a big difference between what they're selling on their site and what you can get on the gray market. So it just makes me wonder, how much these watches are marked up and what they're really, really worth. um, Another thing is, if you're going to charge me over 1,000 Swiss francs, and if somebody pays for it, you're getting this fabric strap. I mean, the strap is okay, if the watch costs like 200, 300 bucks. But if you're trying to tell me that this is going to MSRP for over 1,000 francs, and you're going to give me this fabric strap, textile fabric strap or whatever they call it. That's very disappointing. So that's a bummer right there. So these are some of the things that I think are negatives, and hopefully maybe improved upon, which I doubt they will be. But just things that really kind of strike me as very, very curious. So in conclusion, for a watch that's just barely over $300, I think this is actually a pretty good find. Diver watch, great Swiss movement, easily very wearable, especially on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. The heritage, the history behind Glycine. Yeah, there's a couple of negatives, but like I said, for a watch that's in the $300 range, I think I could overlook some of those negatives and focus on the positives with this watch. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this particular model, and I'll see you soon in the next video.